Hello everyone, this is 05 and welcome to the Cobra Central Toy Review. And today's toy we'll be looking at the 1987 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe vehicle and action figure review. And today's vehicle and action figure review we're looking at the Cobra Wolf, which acronym stands for Winter Operational Light Fighting Vehicle, and its driver, the Cobra Ice Viper. Now I got this straight from eBay, and everything here actually cost me, well, $20. That's not including shipping, so this was a good find. Everything is complete except we have a box, of course. Comes with the figure with all the accessories, and all the vehicle's accessories is also completed along with the file card and the instruction manual. So without further ado, let's begin our review and take a look at the Ice Viper first. Be right back. And we're back, and this time we'll take a look at the Ice Viper. But first things first, let's take a look at the file card. Now, the file card can be found at the back portion of the Cobra Wolf packaging box, which you have to cut out the file card. As you can see at the edges of the file card, that's where the cutout line is. You cut it out from the box itself, and there you have it. You have the Ice Viper's file card, and this file card has been cut off from the previous owner. Now let's take a look at the details written on the file card itself. Top section there stated code name Ice Viper, Cobra Wolf driver, and here you got a nicer image of the Cobra Ice Viper inside the Cobra Wolf vehicle, and he's wearing the helmet to cover himself. Now here we got a nicer write-up stating Ice Vipers are the mechanized branch of the Snow Serpents, both of which must first qualify as Cobra Eels, bracket Cobra Frogmen, and bracket they must take the additional training of Techno Vipers and be prepared to service and repair their own vehicles in hostile Arctic environment. Ice Vipers are fed a special high-fat diet to help retain the body heat and have their faces depilated to prevent frost from their breath icing up their beards. Very interesting that in order to become an Ice Viper in the Cobra Army, you have to start out as a Cobra Trooper, then go to Cobra Viper, then qualify as a Cobra Eels, then take additional training for the Techno Vipers in order to become an Ice Viper, which is a very long route just to become a driver for the Cobra Wolf. Understandable that the Ice Vipers require to maintain and repair their own vehicles, but it's such a long process just to become one. Most likely would take a few years, 5 years at least. Now at the bottom section, someone quoted, and probably one of the group of personnel quoted, when it's 40 degrees below zero on the tundra and everybody is buttoned up tight in their shelter because an ice storm is blowing in from the north, that's when you have to worry about the Ice Viper sneaking up on you. Out there in the big whiteness, there isn't any place to hide. Whoever bundles up first because he figures it's too cold to fight loses. Very interesting. The back portion of the card is just the part of the card box for the box itself. I'll put this one side. Now let's take a look at the Ice Viper's accessories. Now we're not going to take a look at the base stand because the base stand does not include, well, along with the figure and the vehicle itself when it first released in 1987. The base stand were included when I purchased everything in eBay. So this base stand is just a additional part of the whole set. It's not the original part. So we'll take a look at his weapons. Now what's funny about the Ice Viper is that he's given a pair of sights rather than a pistol or a machine gun, which is rather weird. As you already heard from the file card itself, the Ice Viper is not trained to become a ninjutsu or a ninja viper or whatsoever. They were not trained with martial arts, so why are you giving these guys with a couple of sights? It's just beyond me. Here we have a couple of sights here made of a silver plastic material color, and the plastic material is rather soft, so you have to be extra careful when you put this on the onto the figure's hands, since they break quite easily. Now the mode of the size itself is all unique mode during the when it's released in 1987. So it's quite nicely done. You got a handle at the bottom, you got the handguard on the top, or the hilt itself, and the blade for the side. And what's funny about this is that the figure can still hold them, or can easily place them on the side of the thighs itself. There's a small little slot here, and all you have to do is just slide in the side like so. And yes, it falls off really easily. And still a nice touch. Here we have his helmet made of a dark grey plastic material color, and again the entire mold of it is, well, unique for the Ice Viper during 1987. Now you have a helmet here with a molded visor or goggle, where the straps, as you can see, goes all the way to the back, and the figure can actually easily wear this helmet with no problem. Very nice. Now let's take a look at the figure's paint job. Now bear in mind this is a 1987 figure, so the entire figure here is made of a white plastic material color, except for the head, which is entirely made of a red plastic material color. Now the head is made of a red plastic material color, but the face here, the exposed face, is painted in flesh tone skin. Eyebrows, the eyes are painted in black. Very nice. Torso here, the padding, the leather padding here is painted in brown. And then we have his fur here painted in dark gray. Here we have a nice little Cobra logo, well, a very tiny Cobra logo. Now with the crotch area here, you can see the belt buckle is painted in silver, and the belt straps here is painted in black. Very nice. Each side of the arms here, we have extra leather paddings, which is painted in brown. And the arms here, the entire section of the gloves itself is painted in black. Each side of the thigh itself is also painted with the brown color for the padding itself, or a place to store the two sides there. Bottom section of the legs here, the boots has been painted in two different colors, dark gray, black, and it goes on like so. Very nice. Now let's take a look at the figure's mold. Now during when it's first released in 1987, the figure's mold has not any of the body parts that you see in the Ice Viper is not being reused at all before 1987. So this is a good thing. Everything here was unique for the Cobra Ice Viper during 1987. They did, well, reuse his parts after 1987, and also did a repaint for a convention exclusive figure. Very interesting, where the Ice Viper, well, at least the head portion has been painted in blue rather than, well, red. Not painted using a blue plastic material color. So you got the head mold here with an exposed face. Very nice. And then his torso is the one that's very nice. There's a lot of wrinkles there. Bottom section of the shirt, as you can see, there's a lot of nice linings there. You got this padded strap, a lot of rivets as well. You got a nice little Cobra logo there. You got the fur, the dark gray fur. Extra padding armor on each side of the upper bicep. Really thick gloves for him to keep warm for his hands. Now the belt is something really interesting. You got the belt buckle, but the belt itself is a crisscross straps. Not too sure why, but it's interesting. And I mentioned before, this is the section where you place the two sides. All you have to do is just, well, slot it in. It doesn't hold it well, which is a little bit disappointing, but what do you expect? This is a 1987 figure. Bottom section here, we got the boots nicely done with the mold. A lot of wrinkles on the thighs and at the knees as well. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Now bear in mind, this is a 1987 action figure, so articulation is limited on certain point, unlike the current 30th anniversary figures. So the figure can actually move left and right, tilt the head up and down. It's on a ball joint, but you can only move left and right and tilt up and down this much. torso is made of a O-ring, O-ring rubber band that's attached on the torso on the top, on the peg, that connects to a small little piece of the hook itself. So the torso can only move left and right. You cannot turn it 360 degrees. If you do, you stress the plastic and break it. You can go down a little bit, back a little bit, or side to side. Shoulder here can swivel 360 degrees and lift the arms this high because it's being hindered by the padding here. Elbow joint here can bend this far and turn 360 degrees. No wrist joints, of course. Then we have the hip joints itself that can move forward, straight, and to the sides. Then we have the knee joints here that bends this far. Very nice. Now let's fully equip the Cobra Ice Viper with all the accessories. First we put in the helmet, like so. Then we have him wheeled the two sides, which makes no sense at all. Why would a Ice Viper be carrying sides in the first place? And there you have it, Cobra Ice Viper with the two sides. Now the figure is not bad, very nicely done, and all the modes were unique during that time that was released in 1987. Accessory wise, it's not really that impressive, but still it's better than nothing. I'm still questioning why they gave the Ice Viper with a couple of sides there, but it's still very nice figure. If I'm gonna give a rating out of this, well, the colors is alright. Nice set of different variety of colors. We have white, black, dark gray, red, flesh tone skin as well, and also brown. Nice set of colors, and also silver as well. You have totally unique body modes and a couple of accessories. So if I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I'll give it a nice 7 out of 10. Yes, 7 out of 10 for the Ice Viper. Next up, let's take a look at the Cobra Wolf vehicle. Be right back. And we're back, and this time we'll take a look at the Cobra Wolf vehicle. But first things first, let's take a look at the instruction manual that came along with it. Now, the front page of the instruction manual, 4 of the images details the assembly for the entire Cobra Wolf, which is very easy to assemble. Furthermore, if you actually own one and it's quite dirty, covered in dust, you can actually dismantle the entire Cobra Wolf quite easily. But of course, you have to be extra careful depending on the condition of your Cobra Wolf, because the pegs, some of the pegs itself might be weakened after all those years if you keep, well, pulling it out or putting it back in. It tends to happen. So for some of the Cobra Wolf, the vehicle is still sturdy. You can actually still dismantle the vehicle itself to clean it up and reassemble it again. Now the bottom section of the instruction manual, one side here, shows you on how to, well, fold the tracks inside and use just the skis for the vehicle to, well, slide down. Not too sure why they wanted to do that, considering you have the tracks to begin with, of course, unless it's on ice. Now you have also removable ski shocks. You can place the ski shocks onto the vehicle, and on the picture number 6 here shows you on where to place all the ski pedals and the missiles onto the vehicle, and the last picture shows you on how to place these. Well, it only shows you the Snow Serpent figure. I'm not too sure why it's not the Ice Viper figure, onto the removable ski shocks. On the other side of the instruction manual, here is a listing of the technobabble for the Cobra Wolf. Here we got an image of the top-down view image of the Cobra Wolf. Bottom section here is the side view. Here at the corner is a smaller image, shows you on where to place all the sticker decals, and there's a lot of stickers that you need to place onto it. A lot of stickers, and it's quite difficult to see them because the image is quite small and you might easily get confused on, well, some of the parts there. I know I did, because for the sticker labels for the Cobra Wolf here, the original sticker labels, I already removed them because some of them starts to peel off. There are some missing sticker labels, so I have to order myself a new sheet of sticker labels for the Cobra Wolf from CobraStickers.com. And as you can see, it's nicely placed very nice. And for some of the stickers, especially on this section here, because this is not part of the original 1987 packaging of the Cobra Wolf itself, it does not come with the numbering. For the CobraStickers.com version, it does come with some of the additional stickers for you to customize your own, well, version of the Cobra Wolf decals. And speaking of the decals, the details of the decals is quite nice, especially when the Cobra Wolf actually has its own insignia. As you can see, there's the wolf insignia there for the Cobra Wolf. You got a nice little, very tiny Cobra logo. Got warning labels saying that there's the intake here for the engine. Also showing you where the canopy is. And here, this Cobra Wolf actually took out 4, well, snowcats. Very nice. Now let's take a look at the Velcro's colors being applied onto it. Now bear in mind this is a 1987 Velcro toy, so there is no paint job applied onto the Velcro itself. Everything you see here is just pure plastic material color, laden with a lot of stickers. Now the top section and the 2 skipidos here is made of a dull white plastic material color. Very nice. The 2 hatches for the cockpits here, 2 of the cockpits, is made of a clear blue translucent plastic. Here we have 4 red missiles, of course made of a red plastic material color. Bottom section of the Velcro, the entire bottom section of the Velcro is made of a black plastic material color. So you actually have black seatings, black ventilation, and also some detail parts inside as well for the engines. For the gun turret, the skis from the front, skis from the side, the tracks and the wheel are all made of a dark grey plastic material color, which is very nice. It is quite believable for this camouflage for an Arctic vehicle. Very nicely done. Majority of the colors is just white, which makes sense. Very nice. This is a 360 view. Now let's take a look at the vehicle's features. Starting off with the accessories, it does come with 2 skipidos, as you can see. This is the same skipido that you will notice from my review for the Cobra Ice Viper for the Rise of Cobra line, where the Cobra Ice Viper was given with a missile launcher that's shaped like a skipido, except, well, you can actually place the missile in this direction here, because it is the same mold, except they modify the skipido for you to place the missile by placing the spring and carving out the hole in the middle and placing the button on the top here. So we have a pair of skipidos here for this Velcro. There's a bit of details here. There's a small little, well, piston, as you can see. Not too sure why they do that, but it's a very nice touch. Here you got a small little hole here. Not too sure what it's connecting to. Very simple design. And there is no launch mechanism. All you have to do is just pull it out, and then it will just slide down. And that's how its whole purpose is for the skipido. Just it will launch out, slide down, and hits its target. There are 2 of them here, and then we have 4 red missiles. As you can see, very simple detail. You got a lot of nice forefins at the back. And here you got the 2, I would say, pegs there that slots in onto the missile rack. Very nice. Then we have on each side of the Velcro removable ski shocks, as you can see, as shown in the instruction manual itself. Top section here we got 2 pegs for the figure to stand on. Very nice details there. And next to me is a Cobra Ice Viper, and you can actually place the figure on top of the ski itself, which makes no sense. How would anyone actually balance themselves riding this, considering you got this large piece of something, and then whoever, well, maybe an Ice Viper or perhaps a Snow Serpent have to ride on top of here. It's really, it makes no sense on how they balance themselves. It's not even a, I would say, a snowboard. This is a ski shock, not a snowboard. So it makes no sense whatsoever, unless, well, they write 2 of them per person rather than, you know, a single person trying to balance themselves on top of this piece here. Now the vehicle also have wheels, but there's only 2 wheels, just at the side of the tracks itself. The front portion is not a wheel at all. We have here is the ski, and yes, it is articulated. As you can see, it can go up and flat down. Does it roll well? It rolls alright. It just doesn't roll too far ahead because there's only like 2 wheels there. Also, you can actually fold down these tracks, but I cannot fold these 2 tracks because of the plastic itself. And when I tried to put it inside, trying to push it inside, I was kind of afraid that I might break the parts itself, so I don't dare to push it inside. But you can fold it in, and you can have the vehicle run on ski mode, which also makes no sense at all. Very nice. This is on the other side as well. Then we have a gun turret, a double barrel cannon on the top of the vehicle itself, which can swivel 360 degrees and can pivot all the way up this high or down a little bit. Very nice. Also, another thing that makes no sense, but first things first, let's take a look at the details there for the double barrel cannon. Now first things first, it actually has targeting sights on the top of the, well, near end of the gun cannons itself. And I'm not too sure why they put the targeting sight for the turret. And what's really interesting is that how do you feed the cannon's ammunition, considering that, well, it's being supported by this piece here, this very thin piece. Where's the ammo gonna come? Unless there's very limited amount of ammo, which also makes no sense for a vehicle like this. There's also a small little gun on this section, or perhaps it's a laser pointer. Very interesting. Also, we have 2 cockpit here, which both the hatches can be open, but we'll go into the details of the hatches of the cockpit itself later on. And that's all the features for the Cobra Wolf. There's no interesting gimmick. If you want to call the folding the tracks inside for a ski mode as one of the gimmick, then yes, that's one of the gimmick itself, which is not very interesting at all. Now let's take a look at the vehicle's mold. Now this entire vehicle is not, well, I would say totally reused or repaint, because the moment it was released in 1987, this is all totally new mold during that time. And it did get a re-release during 1991 as a mail-in special, so there is a bit of difference. The missile rack here, the 2 skipidos, and the engine cover at the back here are made of black plastic material color, and that's about it. That's all the difference there is. Now here you got a nice ventilation here, and if you look closely inside, I'm not too sure if you can actually look anything inside. There's a bit of engine details behind the ventilation cover itself. And here we have the missile rack. You've got the tubings here for the shape of the missiles, and if you push it at the back here, it reveals 4 of the missiles. But that's not the point. Inside the bottom section of the missile rack itself, you got a little bit of engine details as well. Very nice. There's a bit of rivets, wiring, boxes, very nicely done. Here we have the skis itself. You got a nice little pistons there. Each side of the vehicle we have a little bit of engine ventilation. On the side here, also on the other side, we have 3 pegs for you to store 3 different figures, or 3 same figures. And the bottom section here is the ski shot, where you can place even more figure. Everyone is crowding onto this vehicle itself. Then we have the tracks, which I'm going to remove this. The track itself is also quite nicely done. We got the wheels there and the track. Nicely done with the details. Back portion of the vehicle itself, we have the engine cover, and no, Even removing the engine cover for this section here, it doesn't have any engine detail inside. This is just like that, which is rather disappointing actually for a vehicle this size. You can see nice little details there, bit of piston on each side of the turret, in between of the turret. Here we got more details. Now what's interesting is that the mold for this vehicle is quite nicely done. On one side here you got 2 panels. On the other side here we also have 2 panels, but one smaller, the other one is a bit more longer. Really nice. We already seen the gun, the double barrel cannon here, so we'll take a close look at the cockpit. Here we have the nicer seating, padded seating here. This is for the driver cockpit. It has 2 joysticks and a control panel here. But the top section, what's interesting to note is that there's only 1 joystick and there's a targeting screen there. This is a gunner seat that controls, well, the gun on the top. Very nice. The vehicle is actually quite nicely done. Let's do a size comparison. First we'll take the vintage 1987 Ice Viper and do a size comparison. Very nice. Side view. Very nicely done. Now let's try to place the Ice Viper into the driver's seat itself. Remove the 2 sides. Even with the vintage figure into the driver's seat, there's a little bit of tight spot for him due to the design flaw. I'm going to put the Ice Viper one side and close this first. Now you must be wondering, does it fit the newer figures like the 25th anniversary line or the 30th anniversary line? Well, it depends on which figures we're talking about. So we'll be right back and show you how it looks like being placed with the new figures. Be right back. And we're back, and this time the Cobra Wolf has been outfitted with the 25th anniversary Snow Serpent and the Rise of Cobra Snow Serpent at the bottom here. Now for the bottom cockpit itself is a little bit tight to place in the new figure. As you can see, it barely able to close all the way. It still can close, but it's rather tight fit. And for the top section now, you still have to fold the legs a little bit for seating position, but no problem at all because there's plenty of room up there. Now you're asking, what about the Rise of Cobra Ice Viper, considering that the Ice Viper is the original driver for the Cobra Wolf? The problem with the Ice Viper figure, this is the Rise of Cobra Ice Viper figure, is that he's so bulky, especially on the legs part. The legs itself and the whole suit is so bulky. But even if you remove the vest itself, the legs is still too bulky to fit into either one of the cockpit itself. He cannot fit into the driver's seat because due to the bulky legs, and he also can't actually fold the legs. As you can see, you cannot actually bend the legs all the way over, and the legs are so huge and bulky that he barely able to sit all the way inside the cockpit for the gunner seat itself. But for me, the only way to place in an Ice Viper figure, the Rise of Cobra Ice Viper figure, onto a vintage Cobra Wolf vehicle is to twist the legs 180 degrees, bend the legs like so, and twist the feet on the other side like so. And this is the only way you can place it on to the gunner seat. And no, it wouldn't look awkward at all because you're hardly able to see the legs anyway. But that's the only choice you can do for the Rise of Cobra Ice Viper figure if you want to have the original character to well, pilot the or drive the Cobra Wolf. Overall, the vehicle is actually not bad. I would say the vehicle is actually not bad. Not really interesting gimmick, considering all you have to do is just fold the tracks and it has a ski mode. But it does have a considerable amount of weapons. You get a double barrel cannon, which makes no sense on how it reloads the weapon with the ammunition, how it feeds the ammunition to the cannons itself. We have a couple of torpedoes and a nice array of missiles there. And it's a nice little Arctic vehicle. This is one of the better looking Arctic vehicles compared to the other Arctic vehicles for Cobra. Well, Cobra organization for the Cobra side of the toys itself. Because the other Arctic vehicles for Cobra side isn't as nice, and they are a bit too bright in colors. This one is a very nice vehicle, considerable size. It doesn't roll very well, but the details are nice. It is a classic vintage vehicle. So if I'm gonna give a rating on this, it's not too impressive because due to the assembly itself is rather easy. I mean, other vehicles have a lot of parts, but this one is just you snap in the top part and the bottom part and then place in the rest of the stuff, and that's it. It's very easy to assemble. It's not as complicated as the rest of the other vehicles that was released on the 1987 or even before 1987, but still don't have to be too complicated. The weapons itself is actually not bad of a choices, and I really just don't understand why they have to include the removable skis there. It just makes no sense, but then again, that's part of the gimmick. So if I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I say I'll give it a nice 8 out of 10. Yes, 8 out of 10 for the 1987 Cobra Wolf. Yes, and also because one of the reasons that it can still fit some of the 25th or the 30th anniversary figures. So it's still a very nice vehicle. So 8 out of 10 for the Cobra Wolf. And I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.